Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, love, light, and positivity. I wanted to share with you a little bit more knowledge that I've gained, and it's about timelines and individuals. It has been illuminated to me that it is very possible, probably probable, that each and every individual on this earth is in their very own timeline. And they can jump timelines as they ascend, which means that they can, complete their cycles and go into new timelines. And usually that happens by the end of a 10-year cycle. That when we're speaking about the near future, that it's typically 3 to 6 months in advance, right? And when we're thinking about the distant future, that's, could be the end of the year, or it could be, the next few years, or somewhere within the gap of the 10-year cycle. In which case, it's already been like pre-written how long you chose to want to stay in a certain situation in order to obtain the lessons that you wanted to learn on earth in order to help you enter different timelines. Now, people, right, other people, you may think that they're in their timeline, that they're in your timeline rather, but the way I understand it, and I'm not perfect and I could be wrong, but I'm being led to believe by my intuition and my spirit team that everybody is on their own timeline. And that, yes, timelines or paths of individuals can intersect at certain points during, the life cycle, the 10-year cycle, and even longer, actually, because you don't know how you wrote your contract. Granted, if you have children, typically you would think that you would be in their life until at least they turned, 18 and they went out and ventured on their own, since the government seems to think that 18 is the perfect age in order to be considered an adult, right? So that's society and what society says. I was out on the street well before I was 18. I know a lot of people that were on the street from, their single digit years into, their double digit years, and then, sometimes even in their adult lives. But, it is what it is. And as much as I thought that the people that I had in my life were on my timeline, they weren't. And they were on their own timeline. And their lives interjected with mine over a period of time, in and out, or steady and then gone, or, they developed or evolved, or they, switched or, migrated in their mindset direction and you didn't go, right? So maybe they went faster and higher than you, and you needed time to catch up, or maybe they stayed stagnant or stayed in the matrix and they, held on tightly to their gotta be in control, type macho, if you will, ego. I had one for a very long time. I had to be in control of everything. I had to have my hand on everything. And that was because everybody that I thought was in my timeline that really were vibrating on a different level than me, right? They weren't doing or couldn't do or didn't feel that they had to do the work, which left it for me to do, because if I didn't want it there, if I wanted things a certain way and it wasn't being, reciprocated that way through the other people that I thought were on my timeline, right? Then I did it. I adjusted my life in order to make sure that I had time to do that. So if I asked somebody hypothetically to sweep the floor and they didn't do it, right? When I came back from wherever I was or whatever I was doing, I made sure I swept that floor because I wanted that floor swept. And I took mental note, of how many people, worked with me on my timeline, like my mindset, my thought pattern, my way of working, right, and responding. And at that point, back then I was reacting. So, that was even more of a versatile situation, But we all had to go through different stages in order to be able to elevate. So if you find yourself surrounded by situations, people, mindset, whatever, that isn't on your timeline, isn't under your, direction that you want to go, right? Then you need to realize that it's not about you, it's about them. Because everybody has free will. And they could be on your timeline. They could take on your mindset. They could work, hand in hand, in order to achieve a common goal, in order to benefit, the both and the all. But they choose not to. Okay. So once you realize that you can't force someone to be on your timeline, then it gives you more of a lesser load to hold. Because those people that aren't on your timeline, that don't have the same mindset as you, are draining you one way or the other. Whether it's financially or it's dependency or it's enabling or it's financial, whatever it might be. Because it could be anything. It could be time. It could be energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be, a tangible thing. But my point is that that's enabling. And when you realize that you don't have to enable that situation because they're not on your timeline and there's no way for you to get them there, they have to want to get there. They have to do the work in order to jump from where they are to where you are. And you did it, and you could do it again. And that's the goal. The goal is to continue to evolve and to go through the year increments within the 10-year cycle that everyone goes through. It's not that one is special and gets that event and another doesn't. The difference is that if you actively go to absorb the lessons and the information that's being provided and gain the value and the wisdom and carry it forward as tools for progression, right? Then you'll find yourself switching your timeline into another one that you've not yet seen because you haven't had the ability to, overcome those challenges, because there's challenges in every cycle, and they're elevated challenges. So as you graduate, you go into a higher class, if you want to look at it that way. And you don't always get the opportunity to take people with you. And you don't always get the opportunity to pick who you want to ascend with you. Or, what's going to happen. Because all you could do is control you. And when you realize that you and your timeline is what is the most needed right now, not anyone else and their timeline, and when they may or may not interject with yours, and what type of energy that they're going to bring when they do, right? So as long as you do your best to continue to focus on your timeline and iron out all of your kinks, so to speak, so that you can graduate to your next level, then that puts you higher in vibration, and it gives you a greater foot on your path toward your true destiny. And if those people, right, places or whatever, come your way in the future, then the only way that they would be able to really benefit from you is if they show positivity and the need, the want, the desire to elevate their status, to absorb their lessons and gather their value, so that it would be then their time to jump to a timeline that might be near you or within you and your realm. Now, for how long they stay, that's yet to be seen. So don't take it personally if people fall in and out of your timeline, because everything is meant to happen as it happens, and maybe you gathered the value or the lessons that you needed to learn from that particular person, place, or situation, and that you no longer need to dwell where you were, because you already gathered the tools within the value and tucked it in your pocket. That's not to say that things might not seem like deja vu or repeat themselves, but, at least you know what to look for and how to gracefully dance or fly higher and away. Because you know what? We can't control other people, but we can control us. And I know that I finally accepted that I am on my timeline. And whoever is interjected and comes across my path, maybe they'll stay, maybe they won't. Maybe they're here to learn and to grow and to fly. And that's actually the best thing of all, to grow, to learn, to fly. You know what I mean? And I value each and every encounter and take all the tools that I've gathered over my course, and I apply them to each individual person or situation, because everybody is unique. No one is the same. And everybody deserves to be, embraced for the uniqueness that they have. And if I see you on my timeline, I'll be sure to say hello. And if you see me on your timeline, I'll be sure to congratulate you and offer you encouragement that you went this far, and you can certainly go as far as you want, because the possibilities are endless. So as long as you understand that you are the captain and the crew of your ship, and you're not looking towards others in order to play any type of significant role in your development, other than just, learning and grabbing value as you can and continuing to migrate forward. Life is going to be perfect, because no matter what comes your way, you have grace and dignity and your spirit team with you. So I guess there is more people on your ship beside you, your entire spirit team. And the universe is shining a light so that you know that the direction is clear sailing, the skies are, calm, and the direction is up. And I don't mean to the skies, I mean our, vibration rises so that we can help Mother Earth switch, so that her vibration can go up, so that she too may be able to evolve. It takes all of us. So maybe we might find that there's a bunch of people that are dwelling in the same place at the same time, that have similar desires with their very own timelines that interject with ours, and together we are an unstoppable force of unique individuals, adding light, love, and possibilities, positivity, of course, to each and every one we come in contact with. That's my goal. And so far, I always leave people with a smile on their face, unless, of course, they're running from me because of one reason or the other. But like I've always said, I don't bite. I may growl a little bit, but I much rather, handle it with a soft spoon and laugh and love and show through example, and not react to negative aspects maybe being sent my way, because although they may have intertwined on my timeline, they're vibing very low and they're in their own timeline. So I had to recognize that. If you need any help, let me know. It's a little tricky, I understand. But once we talk about it, I'm sure it'll all become illuminated and you will certainly see the light. I know that I did. I still do. Every day. It's a learning lesson. It's a growth experience. It's, best of all, the ability to hold love in my heart and be receptive to receive all of the blessings that I've been manifesting, so that I can share them with you. My lovely collective, may you go through your timelines and learn your lessons and evolve and find yourself in your own mental, physical, metaphorical paradise. That's where I am right now. Because I realize that paradise is not a place. Paradise is within you. And I found my paradise in me. So no matter where I am or what I'm doing, I'm always in paradise. What do you think about that? My lovely collective, you have a blessed day. I love you.